So you'll have a written copy in your package there. Mike already mentioned that the museum's building trim was painted this summer, and the porch railings were repaired. We had little kids or something kick the railings in. The ranch house storage, it was reorganized. We got some more shelving, and we've set that shelving up. We sent back the Glenbow book. So you saw in the financials that the Glenbow Museum has, or the Glenbow Park has always taken part of the storage, and when they paid us a little bit, but we need that storage. So we've asked them to remove their books, and they came and took them. We did 5 more videos of stories for the museum monitors, and we presented them if you were at the fall members meeting. Those are the ones. We hired 2 students. We went for a federal grant and we didn't get it. I'm pretty proud of this one. We processed and completed 230 records for collective access program in 2025. That's mostly due to Barb over there and Matthew. We made several trips to view and collect larger donations. So Shannon and I went out to a couple of the, old folks and sales and stuff and picked up some things. We always appreciate getting emails, and so we've had several smaller donations throughout the year. So I was really impressed actually this year that the number of things that came into the museum. And we're hoping to have them available, and we're working on new displays, so that'll be nice to see. We have a brochure now with a QR code. So you all remember last year maybe that we are trying to help people to walk downtown on their own independently. And so we didn't manage to get the plaques or the QR codes up. So Ava built us a brochure last year for QR codes, so we can hand it out to people who come to the museum. And we've talked about maybe putting them in some of the more places more people go to, like, and so they'll see them and they can use them.
If I might, it probably wouldn't hurt to put it on our website either.
Oh, good idea, Mark. Okay, I'll send you the email. And we decided that we would do a recognition, and so we designed, Shannon actually and Gail designed and created a new land acknowledgement sign for the museum. If you go into the museum dead ahead about the Welsh dresser, it's now up there. It's our own acknowledgement. We had the board approve it, and so it'll be there for people and visitors to see this summer. The number of visitors to the museum. Frank, do you want to speak to that, or do you want me to?
I'll speak to that then.
Okay, I'll pass that by. And Mike is maybe going to talk about, are you going to talk about Discovery Days and stuff? Okay. We participated in the Historic Calgary Week in July. There were 22 attendees, and the presentation was entitled Then and Now in Cochrane, and Gordon gave that presentation with a little help from Matthew. And we designed an advertisement for their brochure. So the advertising for that event is in the Calgary, the Chinook Historic Society. And so I'm thinking that next year we should actually put out a little ad maybe in our paper so that people know in town that we're doing this. If they're not connected to the Historical Society, they still might like to come out. So I think we have to remember that for the coming year. We participated in Bunkhouse Bonanza up at Stockman's and put up a display. The Westerson cabin, so we reopened the Westerson cabin. So every year we have to take down the displays there because there's no heat in the building, and we have to reset it back up. And then we always try and add something else to those displays, and so that is what we did this year. We also hosted and presented to a couple of groups. We were part of the Heritage Trail Tour, you'll see, with Stockman's, working with Bighorn Historical Society, the Cochrane Tourism, and the TOC reps. We went and had the Plymouth Car Club came, the Millerville Historical Society was by to see what we're doing, and the Calgary Association of Lifelong Learners came, and Gordon gave them a presentation.
There's also the visit by the French
I forgot that, Gordon. Yes.
journalists and,
For tourism, Cochrane Tourism asked us to
really
host them.
interesting.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. I should have sent this around so people could have checked up on it. And CHAPS went out to the Bears Paw Historical Fair. in the fall too, right? So we're out and about in the community. We helped contribute artifacts to the library's 75th anniversary celebration. We created a CHAPS work alone policy for museum staff and volunteers. So if you're volunteering this summer in the museum, we'd like you to be aware of what we're doing in order to follow that policy for not just insurance purposes, but for our employees and our staff and our volunteer safety. And then I get to the volunteers. So according to our written records, our volunteers worked 560.75 hours in 2025. But I know that this is an understatement because many of you come into the building and don't realize that there is a sign-in sheet with the number of hours on the desk downstairs in the basement. So I really want to encourage you, if you're coming in to volunteer in the building, to put your name, your hours, and when you work them. Because when we go to do grant applications, that's one of the things they always ask for, because it's recognized as being an addition to your application, and we really would like to be having correct figures and be able to use them. So it's right on the desk.
And that includes we volunteers,
Yes.
because I know I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I
It
didn't
inc-
either. I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, so I think that's another thing we've talked about too, is how we need to be recruiting volunteers and how we need to be doing some kind of orientation for volunteers every year, because it reminds people, and for the new people coming in, then they know. So we'll have to do that this spring.
We could chip them, and when they come in the door, that's what they're gonna
Now, that would be a great
Yeah,
thing.
that would be perfect.
So it's not just at the museum either, so when you're at an event or something like
Yeah.
that, you
Totally,
would
yeah.
include those hours.
Or even the work you do at home on your computer with things that.
I got a couple hundred hours to add, I'll send them to you.
Okay, great.
I bet you would.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then during the summer, we're open for 4 hours, from Wednesday to Sundays and holiday Mondays. And so last year we had 16 hours, 16 volunteers who did all those hours. And so it would be really good if we could get some more volunteers, because it's not always fair to have people putting in so much time. It would be better, I mean, many hands makes light work. And so what we decided to do at the Cochrane Museum, and also Mark decided this year, is, and he can talk about that, but we got David Sharp to design a poster, and we printed the posters, and last week a number of the volunteers went out and we put the posters in a listed group of locations, so that hopefully the town, people in the town will see it and people will be interested, and we'll get, and we already have 4 people who have said they'd like to come, and a lady just emailed me again, said she really wanted to come to the meeting today with her husband, but the weather is terrible. So I think that the posters has been a good idea, and I think we just need to continue doing things like this so that people know that we're out there. The town, when Larry and I went to a meeting a couple of weeks ago, told us that they're having a volunteer fair, and maybe some of you seen the ads for it, on April the 11th, which is the same day as our dinner, but it's earlier in the day. And so I have signed up for a table and display there, and see what kind of volunteer traffic we get, and if we can pick up some more people there. So I think that needs to be something that we continually think about this year.
Yeah, it's on from 10 to 2, okay, at the ranch house. And we can put whatever type of display we want on it, so it won't interfere with our dinner later on, okay?
So that's all I got to say. Over to you, Mark.